Then we're gonna add what's called backset. That is your leftovers from your previous mash. That helps with your consistency and your flavor, okay? They're gonna boil that to exactly about 220 degrees. We'll put that corn in there. Then they'll let it come down about 150. They add in the soft red winter wheat. Then lastly, we cook the malted barley. Gotta cook this at optimal times, optimal temperatures, because we want the desired flavor out of all three of those grains we put in there. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a 3.5-hour process right there. But the ladies and gentlemen here, they gotta cook it real slow and slow, like a brisket or a rib, okay? Like I said, we want the flavors out of each of those grains specifically. So, right here to my left, she's 5 stories tall, ladies and gentlemen, copper column still. We got 2 more parked right behind her as well, okay? So how this works is, we are gonna take the 3rd day of our fermentation process. It is called distiller's beer, okay? About 8 to 10% alcohol. We're gonna introduce it almost to the top of the still, folks, about 4 stories up, all right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, you see this pipe fitting right there on the side of the still? We're pumping steam in there, okay? Now, inside these stills, there are 14 copper perforated plates. Once our mash goes across those plates and meets that steam, that is our first distillation, okay? Now, when you guys come back and see us, there will be a beautiful clear liquid coming right out of this first tail tank here. It is called low wine. It is about 120 proof, okay? It's okay, but we double distill here at Maker's Mark. So we will take this low wine, folks, send it right downstairs to what is called our doubler. Now that is a gentle redistillation cycle that enhances the proof of the bourbon, folks. Now, out of this second tail tank right here, there will be a glorious clear white liquid at 130 proof. Now some folks call it high wine, white dog, or white lightning. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not pay taxes, that will be moonshine, okay? And that is what we are gonna fill our barrels up with after our distillation process. Anybody got any questions about what you've seen or heard? It's the rule of 3 here in our fill house, ladies and gentlemen. 3.5 hours to cook the grain, 3 days of fermentation, all right? So, out of each one of these hyper vats, folks, you'll get exactly 25 barrels of bourbon, all right? Back to this hallway where my good buddies are standing, 55 more of these fermenters, stainless steel, 10,500 gallons. Now I know what you're thinking, somebody's probably gonna ask, does the bourbon taste different from the wood to the steel? Absolutely not. This is our cellar here. This is where we house our Maker's Mark 46 in private selection. That room in there, that's our coopering room. That's where we'll make our Maker's Mark 46, and they were doing a barrel pick, which I'll explain. So, basically Maker's Mark 46 all came about personal legacy. So, our founder, Bill Samuels Sr., he retires. He passes the reins to his son, Bill Jr. In that exchange of power, Bill Sr. basically was like, son, don't mess up my bourbon, okay? So he says something else, but I can't repeat that. So Bill Jr. takes over our company. He has a long, illustrious career. And towards the end of his career, he got to thinking about his personal legacy. Basically, he was like, I didn't mess with my dad's bourbon. I ain't changed a thing. But I don't want to leave my own imprint on Maker's Mark. Bill Jr. wanted his Maker's Mark on steroids. So what he did, he reaches out to the same people that make our barrels, the Independent Stave Company, and they introduced Bill Jr. to this piece of wood right here, folks. This is called a stave profile. This is stave profile experiment number 46 to be exact. So, by law, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of you folks may know, we can't add anything to our product or else she won't be a bourbon anymore. but we can do some wood finishing and wood refining. So that room we were just in, that's like our finishing school for our bourbon. So what they do in there, they're gonna bring in about 300 of those fully matured barrels of Maker's Mark. And as you can see, he was knocking those rings off and putting them back on. So what he does first is, there's a drill in the back of the room in there. They take all the walnut bungs out, they dump those barrels into tanks. The reason is, you guys notice that lovely smell in that warehouse there, right? That angel share. For those that don't know, as the bourbon goes through its maturation process, we actually lose liquid due to that, it leaves that evaporation in the air. So once they knock those bungs out, they'll refill all those barrels to the original 53 gallons. That's why he's got to knock the rings off and takes the tops off. Then he just takes 10 of these 46 staves, just like so, drops them right back in that barrel. They hand rotate them into this room right here. They'll stay up in these ricks for 9 weeks. After 9 weeks later, wham bam, thank you ma'am, Maker's Mark 46. This bottle I'm holding right here, this is a part of our founder series. We got Miss Margie Samuels, our iconic co-founder. She designed this bottle, the signature red wax, and then this insignia right here. She did this to pay homage to her family. So the S, of course, is for the last name Samuels. Roman numeral number 4. At the time, Miss Margie thought her husband was a 4th generation distiller. We did some research. He's actually the 6th. We all like to say the other 2 generations weren't commercial distillers, if y'all understand what I'm saying. Yeah. That circle and the star there, folks, that's the cattle brand for the family farm they established in Bardstown, Kentucky, Starhill Farms. The name of our farm on our campus. This bottle here, this is a part of our founder series. We got Miss Margie, her son Bill Jr., and her grandson, who is our COO and 8th generation, Rob Samuels. Commemorative labels, this is your classic 90 proof. And then the most important thing Miss Margie Samuels did, she actually named our product. She got the inspiration for this name from this English pewter collection here. The thing about this English pewter is, friends, once the whitesmiths of the day completed their most distinguished pieces of work, they stamped it there front and center, what's called the mark of the maker. So basically, Miss Margie thought her husband's bourbon was his most distinguished product, i.e. Maker's Mark. See why I gotta do it in here? It's super loud in here. They got the machines rocking and rolling. They got the music playing, smiling faces. So this is how it works. You start right down here at the end, feeding the glass with the empty bottles. This is the coolest thing ever to me. This is the rinse station. Believe it or not, we rinse the bottles with bourbon. We can't use water because it'll knock the proof off, of course. So we rinse right here, or refill them right here. Put a little cap on, itty bitty piece of tape. Walk with me, friends. Sounds like they say on MTV Cribs, this is where the magic happens right here. Come back and see us. You see 4 of my friends, they're dipping these bottles on both sides. They will dip 22 to 27 of these bottles per minute, depending on the size. Wax in these pots is about 225 degrees. But they treat everybody very, very good here. So I will tell y'all this. All my friends in bottling line, they're all cross-trained. They literally just work in 30-minute increments to prevent injuries and things like that. And it's just kind of like a hockey substitution if you follow sports. They step out, somebody else steps in, or if you're like me, like the casino, it's like when the dealers change at the table. There's, somebody steps right back in there, everything keeps on going on. So like I told you folks, out of our still house for 2023, 1.3 million official proof gallons. Out of these 3 bottling lines, 24 million bottles hand dipped in that wax. 3.2 million cases, so thank y'all very much. Now I'm gonna give y'all some bourbon here in about 3 minutes. Y'all probably gonna forget everything I said, but it's cool. We're gonna help you in the gift shop. So, whatever your dominant hand, folks, you take your bottle, 4 fingers on the front, put your thumb on the back. Ladies, we can hold it with 2 hands if you like. This is our wax pot. We dip it. This is real important, friends. Whatever your offhand is, we catch it. We twist it twice, and we set it down, folks. That's it. That's all. Dip, catch, twist, twist, sit. Think about it. It's the laws of gravity. The quicker you get the bottle back up, the wax comes down. Don't be this guy, because you ain't going to get any drips, okay, friends? And don't be this guy, because it's hot wax, and that ain't safe, all right? Literally. Y'all be surprised. Stop behind that sign, let me get a picture for 5. You're gonna crush it.
dip straight it down so you hit the bottom, and then tilt so you can twist twice. Okay. So one dip, two twists, and you want to sit her down.
Okay. One dip, two twists, sit her down.
Got any questions?
Got it right?
Yep.
Okay.
Good. Dip so you hit the
Yep.
bottom, up, tilt, twist, twist, both hands, and sit her down. There you go. Nicely done. Hit the bottom. Up, tilt, twist twice, and sit her down. There you go. Good job. Well, they got it.